Guys, yes, that's a heating pad. I'm old and I strained a muscle when I think when I was doing a sound bath, which is where you lay down and listen. Anyway, I also overscheduled the crap out of my life with really fun things that I don't want to say no to, but my higher power's like, girl, you need to lay down. So here I am, and I have lots of thoughts when I do nothing. But I wanted to share this story about what happened to me yesterday. Happened to me? That feels weird. What I got to experience yesterday, what my higher power decided I was ready for. So there's this guy in my recovery program who I believe is high all the time. I don't just believe it. I know he's high all the time. Anyway, he has a nickname based on this like sweet treat he brings to meetings all the time, and I am not divulging any names or any further details. But so he's like, I'm a chill guy. I'm cool. I'm hip. He doesn't say that, but that's the vibe. But something was off. Like I just knew something was off, and I found out that he was like going around asking for women's contact information under the guise of like, let me help you. You can stay with me if you're trying to leave your husband, which is kind of a big deal. There's a lot of women who come into healing spaces and are leaving their husbands because I don't have to spell that out. But anyway, so that was my first like validation of my intuition about this turkey. And once I found out, I would just stare at him like directly in the eyeballs. And when you do that to people that you know are turkeys, like they cannot stand it. They cannot stand it because I think something in them recognizes that you see the damage that they have caused or are causing. And so he was already, no, let's start over. I was already on his shit list, but he's been on mine. So he has tried to be nice to me a couple of times, and I'm just like, because I know. So yesterday at our kickball tournament, he comes up to me, or he comes up to the group I was with, and he had a dog on one of those retractable leashes. And it was a puppy, like really cute little puppy. He was gray and maybe a pit. I don't know. I don't know dog names or brands. Brands? Anyway, so he comes up with the dog, and he's telling this story because the bathrooms weren't working at this park in the city of Raleigh. And he's telling this story, and it starts out, and it sounded really racist. And I was like, just listening. And as he continues on, he starts talking about like disparity and how these communities aren't given any resources because they're black and brown. And I was like, dude, I thought you were telling a racist story, but you turned it around. And he was like, I'm not racist. I have plenty of black friends. And I was like, oh, God, that's what a racist would say. So I just walked off because I got some food or something like that. And then later on, we were all hanging out, and his dog on the retractable leash walked up to this other dog, and the other dog bit him. And the owner looked really scared. He was just sitting there, and I was like, are you okay? And he said, I'm scared of that dog. And I was like, oh, I know him. I'll go have a chat with him. So I got up and went over and talked to this turkey. And I said, hey, this guy's scared of your dog. Can you walk away? And he looked at me and he was like, I don't have to walk away. I'm talking to my friends. I don't have to do anything. Why would I do that? And I said, because I told you to. Holy shit. He lost his shit. He said, I know you've been trying to call me a racist today, and I'm not a racist. And he just kept getting louder and louder and madder and madder. And I just stood there, and finally I broke because I'm human. And I was like, shut the fuck up and get out of my face. Well, that went sideways real quick. And he just kept like coming up to me like right here in my face, trying to intimidate me. You know, this cool, chill, pot smoking dude had it. Oh, and like this part of me was a little scared. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to hit him. And I just didn't back down. And finally, after a little bit, I started walking towards him because I was like, I'm the aggressor now, you motherfucker. And he was like, you're so fucked up, and calling me all kinds of names. And I put my hand on his chest and shoved him. And I looked around and everybody's like, no one knew what to do. It was so awkward. And finally somebody came up and they were like, you both need to separate. Like, let's separate. So I walked away, and it was like, I was kind of shaken because I was like, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened. And then we played kickball and had a great time, like a really great time. And I talked to a couple of my friends later who had seen what happened. And apparently the kid with the dog that bit his dog, went and attacked him after I left, like just screaming at him. So yeah, turkey fucked around and turkey found out. And now I want to start a fight club. That felt really good. Really good. It felt like I was standing up for every time I've kept my mouth shut, and every time I've played small, and every time a man has tried to intimidate me. I will be doing that again. Hit me up if you got somebody bothering you, because I have ideas. Love you. Mean it.